So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs in a short span of time within 30 minutes. The purpose of this lecture series is very simple. Look, we don't want you to spend your entire day covering current affairs. Therefore, the entire day's current affairs would be covered in about 30 minutes. 30 minutes of watching this lecture and another 20 to 25 minutes of revising this lecture. In about an hour or 50 minutes, you'll be done for the day as far as current affairs are concerned. You don't have to worry about current affairs. Your entire day is free now. Now, where can you revise this lecture from? Well, you can download the notes for this lecture. And you can find the notes for this lecture from our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel is provided in the comment section below this video. All you have to do is just click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the notes for this lecture and spend 20 to 25 minutes revising this lecture. Please do not forget to revise, because through revision alone, you will be able to remember these current affairs for longer periods of time, or else you will forget them in a couple of days. Okay, so make sure you revise them also. All right, let's begin this lecture. First, let's take a look at the topics we shall cover today. So here's a list of today's topics. First of all, Odisha government has come out with an anti-cheating law. We all have heard about public examinations being leaked, unfair practices within them, and it leads to the loss of precious time of various students, right? Cheating is a big thing in public examinations for government jobs, public examinations for entry into universities, IITs and whatnot. So Odisha government has come out with an anti-cheating law. So we'll talk about this. Then second topic is again related to education. UGC, University Grants Commission, has approved flexible degree completion. Okay, if you have a 4-year degree, you can complete it in 3 years if you're that quick, or you can take around 6 years or 5 years also. Okay, UGC has said that we will create a system through which you can complete your degree, full-fledged degree, in flexible timings. You can take 3 years or 5 years. It's up to you. That degree would be the same degree as the one who is getting a 4-year degree. So this is to increase flexibility in our education system. So this is a very good thing. So we'll cover this. Then recently a study came out regarding Asiatic lions. Look, there are two types of lions, Asiatic lions and African lions. The one you see on TV are generally African lions. They are little bigger in size. But Asiatic lions are also there, which are in Asia only. They are native to Asia. And Gujarat is the only home of Asiatic lions now. They used to be in the rest of the country also. They used to exist in Middle East, Persia, Asia, Central Asia also, these lions. But now they have become extinct from all other places except Gujarat. So there was this study on Asiatic lions of Gir Forest in Gujarat. So we'll talk about them. And in the end, we'll talk about Sufi Saint Moinuddin Chishti. Because in his honor, Ajmer Sharif Dargah is made. And someone has written a petition to a court saying that Ajmer Sharif Dargah is constructed on a temple, so there needs to be a survey. And the court has admitted that petition. So this brings into the question what is Ajmer Sharif Dargah, and on whose honor, or to honor who, this dargah was constructed. So it was Sufi Saint Moinuddin Chishti of Chishti Silsila. So through this, we'll talk about Sufism in India, or Indian culture, basically. All right. Okay. So these are the 4 topics that we will focus all our attention on. So please pay close attention, give me your 100%. And after watching this lecture, revise these current affairs also. All right. Let's begin this discussion, starting with topic number 1, which is Odisha's anti-cheating law. All right. So Odisha's anti-cheating law. So Odisha government has decided to enact a new law with stringent penalties to check cheating and other discrepancies in public examinations. The exams for government posts, government jobs, government universities, right? The name of the law is Odisha Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Act, in the ongoing session of the State Assembly. So it is going to be presented in Odisha State Assembly. Now, Uttarakhand has already passed this law. Jharkhand has also passed this law for their state. And the central government has also passed this law for central examinations. Okay. So states are enacting their laws to prevent cheating in public examinations, and center has also enacted this law. The central law is called Public Examination Prevention of Unfair Means Act, and it was enacted in February this year. All right. So we'll talk about in brief the Odisha's law, and then we'll focus more of our attention on the central law, because for us, central law is more important. Unless you are preparing for Odisha civil services, then Odisha's law becomes important. But I'm guessing most of you are preparing for central UPSC exam. So central law would be more important for you guys. All right. So we'll focus more on central law, but let's first take a look at Odisha's anti-cheating law. Mostly these laws are similar, to be honest. Okay. So this law, first of all, gives a list of offenses as to what constitutes an unfair practice. So leaking a question paper is unfair practice. Okay. Changing seating arrangement to benefit selected few. Right. This happens in examination halls. You change seating arrangement so that cheating can be facilitated in that area, and few selected candidates get the benefit out of it. Okay. So changing seating arrangement, leaking, prompting answers, and many other things that can be done to promote unfair means in an examination are listed down in this act. Okay, and they are criminalized. So first of all, this law gives a list of offenses that would be considered unfair means. All right. Then all offenses under this law, okay, all offenses under the new law will be cognizable, non-bailable, and non-compoundable. So these are cognizable. That means you can arrest a person. Okay. Non-bailable, bail is not a matter of right. The court will decide whether bail should be given or not. And non-compoundable, that means it doesn't compound with the passage of time. Okay. Generally, challans are compoundable offenses. Anyway, this law also says that an officer not below the rank of DSP or Assistant Commissioner of Police can only investigate the offences under the proposed law. So, junior police officers won't be able to investigate it. Senior police officers, either at the rank of DSP or above that, would be able to investigate these offences. This is to inculcate seriousness in investigation of these cheating cases. All right. So, this is basically Odisha's law, not that important for you. I'm repeating, unless you're preparing for Odisha Civil Services, these facts are not that important for you. But let's come to what is important for you, and that is the central law. So central law is Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Act 2024. It was passed in Parliament February 2024. The act is first central legislation. So it is the first law addressing unfair practices in public examinations. Okay. So again, like the Odisha's law, this law also lists down the set of offenses that are prohibited. Okay. So section 3 lists down 15 actions that would be considered unfair means, and they would be penalized. Section 9 also states that, like Odisha law, the offences would be cognizable, non-bailable, and non-compoundable. Okay. Section 2K gives the definition of what is public examination. Okay. All sorts of examinations are conducted in our country, but what are public examinations? Conducted by public examination authority like UPSC, SSC, NTA, National Testing Agency, right? So public examination, what is public examination? The definition is given over here in section 2K. And section 11 also addresses the issue of organized crime. Look, cheating and leaking of papers, all of this, if done individually, if an individual does it, then yes, there are punishments for that. But we all know that a mafia operates in these scandals. There is a paper leaking mafia, there is a mafia, an organized crime group that leaks these exams, right? So, to tackle these organized criminal groups, if an individual is leaking an exam, that would be dealt with separately. But there are organized criminals who leak these exams. So, Section 11 deals with organized crimes or organized criminals who are involved in in these public examinations. So, their punishments would be more stringent, and fines would be also more stringent. Okay. So, remember this central law, the name, and when it was passed. All right. That's all you need to know from this. Okay. Let's shift our focus to second news item, which is again more important. UGC, which is called University Grants Commission, approves flexible degree completion. So undergraduate students who are going for their bachelor's, undergrad, will soon have flexibility in completing their programs in less or more time than the standard 3 or 4 years. So some undergrad degrees like BA and many other, they are 3 year degrees. Some, like for professional courses like BTech and all, these are 4 year degrees, right? So these are the standard times. Now students would be given flexibility to increase the time or decrease the time of their degree. Okay. And it would have no consequence on the degree they get. Their degree would be the same as someone who has completed it in 3 years or 4 years. Okay. So this was a decision taken by University Grants Commission. So University Grants Commission has come out with two systems. One is called ADPs. accelerated degree programs. So under accelerated degree programs, if a bright student wants to complete his or her degree in less time, so for example, it's a 4-year degree, he wants to complete it in 3 years. Well, he or she can enroll under ADP and complete it quickly. Okay, this is for bright students. And there are some students who want to take more time, right? For them, there is extended degree programs. Okay, some students want to finish their degree, want to take more time to study, they want to finish their degree in longer times, right? So for them, there is EDP. Under this, they can complete their 4-year degree in 5 years, and their degree would be the same. No one would say that they have been given a different degree. It would be the same. Again, this is to inculcate flexibility in completing your degree. What happens is, at times, someone, for example, someone is studying in a 4-year course, and a medical emergency comes or a family emergency comes, and he has to stop his studying, right? So he can extend his degree by 1 year. That can also happen. Okay. Higher educational institutions can offer these options starting with 2025-26 academic session. Okay. So the next academic session would have these two facilities. So what are these two facilities? Let's talk about them. So ADPs are, under this, 3-year UG program can be completed in 5 semesters. So generally in a 3-year UG program, there are 6 semesters. So you can complete it in 5 semesters, and a 4-year UG program has 8 semesters. So you can complete it in 6 semesters. Okay, not more than that. You can't say that it's a 3-year program and I will complete it in 1 year. That can't be done. A maximum of 1 semester can be cut in 3-year program, and a maximum of 2 semesters can be cut in 4-year program. All right, this is ADP. What are EDPs? Students opting for this can extend their course duration by a maximum of 2 semesters. All right, now how will this happen? So UGC has created a system of credits. Okay, so as soon as you complete a subject, okay, you get some credits for it. Now, if you want to complete your 4-year degree in 3 years, then you can get all these credits that a 4-year person or a 4-year degree holder would get. You can study these subjects in 3 years and get these credits in 3 years. Okay, so each subject is attached with some credits. If you can get these credits quickly in 3 years, well, you can complete your degree in 3 years. If you will take the standard time, you will complete these credits in 4 years, then you'll get a 4-year degree or a degree in 4 years. Degree won't change. You'll get the same credits. Okay. Similarly is the case with EDPs also. So UGC first of all had created a system of credits. As soon as you complete one subject, you get some credits. If you get these credits quickly, then ADP. If you take more time than standard, then EDP. Okay. Now, how will UGC go about it, or how would universities go about it? So UGC has created a standard operating procedure. Okay. Under this SOP, UGC says that every higher education institution, a college or a university, will set up a committee, okay, to scrutinize applications. Okay. So as soon as a student completes first or second semester, and if they want to quickly finish their degree, okay, so let's suppose I enrolled in a undergrad program, and after finishing my first or second semester, I have decided that I can complete this degree in 3 years. So I will give an application to this committee. This committee will scrutinize my application and will check my score, my examination score in first and second semester, and then on the basis of that, they will decide whether I should be given ADP or not. Okay, it's not that you can get ADP if you want. No, you have to apply first, and the committee will decide whether you get it or not. Okay, so that is the case. Now, an institution can say that we will give ADP to maximum of 10% of total students. They can keep a cap of 10% on ADP applications, and EDP applications have no cap. All students can opt for EDP, but only 10% of the students can opt for ADP. Okay. The committee will also decide the minimum number of credits a student must earn in each semester under ADP and EDP based on UGC's curriculum and credit framework. So UGC has created a system of credits. This committee will follow that, and on the basis of that, they will decide how many credits a student has to earn in each semester for ADP as well as EDP. Okay. That is the thing. So remember this thing, UGC, curriculum and credit framework for undergrad program. UGC came out with this. And UGC's this decision is in line with National Education Policy of 2020, where Government of India wanted a flexible system for degree completion. So this is in line with National Education Policy. All right. Okay. Let's move on to our third news item, which is lions of Gir Forest. Now look, there are 2 types of lions in the world. One are called Asiatic lions. As the name suggests, They are mostly found in Asia. And the other, which are more popular, are called African lions. Okay, they are found in Africa. Now, the thing is, African lions are generally bigger than Asiatic lions. Asiatic lions are a bit smaller, African lions are a bit larger. Okay, now the thing with Asiatic lions is that once upon a time they were in Middle East also, West Asia. They used to roam around in Middle East, they were in Iran, they were in India, especially Western and Eastern India, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bengal, all these places. But slowly and gradually, Asiatic lions became extinct. They became extinct from Middle East, they became extinct from Iran, they became extinct from Eastern India. Now, the only place where they live is Western India, and that too only Gujarat, and that too Gir Forests of Gujarat in Gir National Park. So Asiatic lions are extinct from everywhere except Gujarat, and that is why Government of India takes so good care of these Asiatic lions, because this is the only home that they are left with. If they become extinct from Gujarat, then we won't have Asiatic lions anymore. Okay. So Asiatic lions, whose entire population numbering 674 is in Gujarat, coexist with humans through mutual adaptation, legal protection by government, economic drivers, and government compensation for livestock, among others, as per new research. So this new research says that Asiatic lions have somehow adapted with the humans of that area. Humans and these lions have adapted to coexist. Generally, whenever there is a wild animal in a populated area, it leads to man animal conflict, human animal conflict. But because of various government measures, various legal protections, various government economic incentives, humans living in this area do not mind Asiatic lions, and Asiatic lions do not mind that. So they both have somehow evolved to coexist together, and that is why Gujarat has remained the only home of these Asiatic lions. Okay. Gujarat is the only home of Asiatic lions, and there have been calls to shift some of these Gujarat lions to Madhya Pradesh so that their population can be spread around. Okay, there have been calls. Even Supreme Court has ordered, but it has not yet been implemented. So as of now, Gujarat is the only place where these Asiatic lions roam around, though there have been calls that they should be shifted to other locations of India as well. Okay, conservationists or environmental activists say that their translocation to Madhya Pradesh would also act as a sort of protection against disease and widespread infections. Okay, let's suppose a widespread infection spreads in Gujarat, the entire region of Gujarat. So this entire 674 population would be vulnerable. But if some of them are in MP, some of them in Chhattisgarh, then a disease, infectious disease in Gujarat won't threaten the entire existence of Asiatic lions. Because Gujarati lions would be vulnerable, but Madhya Pradesh lions or Chhattisgarh lions would be saved, right? So therefore, we need to spread them around to reduce their vulnerability. All right. A few facts about Asiatic lions. Well, Asiatic lions, also known as Persian lion, because once upon a time they used to roam around in Iran also, or Indian lion. Their genus or their genetic name is Panthera leo leo. Okay. African lions are called Panthera leo. Asiatic lions are called Panthera leo leo. Okay. Asiatic lions are slightly smaller than African lions. Their previous habitat, like I said, was West Asia, Middle East, Central India, East India. At present, their only home is Gir National Park in Gujarat. Their IUCN status is endangered. All right, not critically endangered, endangered. All right. Now, this study actually pointed out, this new research actually pointed out the reasons why Asiatic lions remain protected in Gujarat. What is so special about this region and the people of this region and the culture of this region that Asiatic lions feel safe here, right? There are a few reasons. First of all, there is human acceptance. There is great human acceptance. Plus, the one reason why people do not allow wild animals in their vicinity is that they fear that their livestock would get eaten up by these wild animals. People don't like tigers and these wild animals in their vicinity because they fear that their livestock would be threatened, right? Same is the case with Gujarat also. But government came out with a scheme called livestock compensation scheme. If a lion in the area eats up your livestock and you suffer an economic loss because of that, government would compensate for that. Okay, therefore there is more economic human acceptance because of this compensation. Okay, then there are a few economic drivers also. Okay, wildlife tourism, because it is the only area where Asiatic lions exist. So that naturally, so many tourists come. So this tourism actually benefits the local population. Okay, that is why, because of these economic incentives, these people do not mind Asiatic lions in their area. Okay, there are some cultural practices also which have benefited Asiatic lions. What are those cultural practices? Old cattle, abandoned cattle, cattle that cannot produce milk anymore, right, is abandoned. And this abandoned cattle forms a big chunk of Asiatic lions' diet. So lions are happy that they get food, and people are also happy because they have no use for this cattle, so they leave them. Okay, so because of this cultural practice, these lions have no shortage of food, and people also don't mind it. Okay, plus there is legal protection from the government because Gir is a national park. It is a national park, Gir Forest, and a wildlife sanctuary. So naturally, government has various protections, legal protections, which prevent uh, killing of these lions. Okay, so these lions and communities have somehow co-adapted to coexist. And this experiment should be replicated in other parts of the world if you really want to save endangered species. Okay, so if a question comes in your mains examination as to how to protect endangered species, you can give these examples. Okay, so if Asiatic lions can be protected in Gujarat, many different species, elephants, tigers, can be protected in different parts of the world. Okay, we can learn from this, and you can write this in your mains answer as well. Okay, all right, that would be all regarding Asiatic lions. Now let's shift our focus to a news related to Indian culture. Okay, it is related to Ajmer Sharif Dargah in Ajmer, Rajasthan. It is a Sufi Dargah. Okay, to honor a Sufi saint called Moinuddin Chishti. Now, why was this dargah in Ajmer, Rajasthan? Why was this dargah in news? So, an Ajmer court admitted a petition by Hindu Sena which claims that there lies a Shiva temple under the revered Ajmer Sharif Dargah and that an archaeological survey should be conducted. So, this Ajmer court has admitted this petition. Now, this again has created a uproar, furor. Okay, it has again brought this debate to the surface that should we uh, basically survey all religious places, okay, and should we change their religious character? And this also brings into the question the Places of Worship Act of 1991. So again, this is a big thing. Okay, but our focus is not Places of Worship Act because we have discussed Places of Worship Act and these controversies in the previous lectures. We will focus on this dargah and its saint Moinuddin Chishti because it is important from the perspective of Indian culture, Indian history, ancient medieval history. Okay, because Sufism and Bhakti movements are part of your syllabus as far as history is concerned. So this would cover a big portion of your GS1. All right. So the dargah is a mausoleum of Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, one of the most pivotal figures of spread of Sufism in Indian subcontinent. So who was Moinuddin Chishti? Well, he was born in Sistan, a province of Iran, in 1141, so 12th century, and this province in Iran borders Afghanistan. Then he got attracted to this Sufism, right? And he joined the Chishti Silsila or the Chishti order of Sufism, which was under the control of Khwaja Usman Haruni back then. So he actually came to Khwaja Usman Haruni, who was managing the Chishti Sufi order. Okay, order in local language means silsila. Silsila means a particular Sufi order, a particular Sufi sect. So the Chishti Sufi sect or the Chishti Silsila was back then being managed by Khwaja Usman Haruni in Herat, Afghanistan. Moinuddin Chishti became his disciple and was initiated into the Chishti Silsila. Then he started propagating these teachings of the Chishti Sufi order to the rest of the subcontinent. Okay, he accepted Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki as his next disciple, and with him he went to Punjab, Multan, and Lahore. Then Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki went to Delhi and he established the Chishti Sufi order in Delhi. In fact, Qutub Minar of Delhi is named after Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, a Sufi saint, a disciple of Moinuddin Chishti. Okay, so this is the thing. Later, Moinuddin Chishti from Multan and Lahore, he went to Ajmer. Okay, and because of his social service in Ajmer, Moinuddin Chishti's social service and his service to the poor, he was given the title of Garib Nawaz. And after his death, a dargah was created in his honor. Okay. Now let's talk in brief about Sufism. So Sufism emerged between 7th and 10th century AD, and it basically was a counterweight to uh, it was basically a different form of Islam. It basically propagated a mystic, ascetic, devotional form of Islam, bhakti form of Islam. Okay, so Sufism was worried that Islam is becoming more worldly, and they wanted to make it more mystical and devotional. So that is why they propagated their own form of Islam. Okay, eventually Sufi practitioners came to be organized in various orders, which were called silsila. So there were different Sufi saints who established different silsila. Chishti silsila is one of them. Then there is Nashbandi silsila and many others. Okay. Now, some more information specifically about Chishti silsila, because it is the most popular Sufi order in India. Okay. It was founded in 10th century by Abu Ishaq Shami in the town of Chisht near Herat in Afghanistan. Okay. But it was because of Moinuddin Chishti that this silsila became popular in India. Okay. Moinuddin Chishti and his disciples spread it around the country. Okay. The Indian subcontinent. His most famous disciple, Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, established Chishti Silsila in Delhi. Qutub Minar is named after him. Then Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki's disciple was Baba Fariduddin, who propagated Chishti Silsila's teachings in Punjab region. Then their disciple was Nizamuddin Aulia, whose famous dargah is in Delhi. Okay, his successor was Nasiruddin Chirage Dilli. Okay, he was also a he was also a part of Chishti Silsila. So it had basically, there was a saint. Okay, after his death, his one of his disciple used to become the saint. So that was the case. After Moinuddin, it was Bakhtiyar Kaki. Then after him, it was Baba Fariduddin. After him, it was Nagori, Moinuddin Nagori. Then Nizamuddin Aulia. Then Nasiruddin Chirage Dilli. Okay, so this is a very famous Chishti silsila. Most of the famous dargahs of India are from Chishti silsila. All right. And that would be all. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And please do not forget to revise this lecture, because let me repeat, only through revision, you'll be able to consolidate these current affairs in your memory. All right. On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.